Howdy, howdy, and welcome back once again. It's Hassan Matthew with Welfare to Well-Off's YouTube content. Today we're going to be talking about another emotion, or one of those negative emotions we've discussed previously. And as previously said, these negative emotions can be used as a sort of fuel for us if we learn how to harness it in the right way. It still doesn't make it a picnic, but there's always a positive we can take to any negative. So the emotion or the feeling we're going to be confronting today is depression. And depression, as we're going to come to find out and talk about more and more in this series, is having to do with the past. It's looking back and having guilt, regret, so on and so forth. But also, to a degree, it can be, and this is what I have found, we talked about anxiety is mainly this, the future, but if we look into the future as if it's the past, or we're looking into the present especially, which kind of goes against the whole being in the moment philosophy, but if we are sitting in the present and we're focusing on what we don't have yet, or how long it will take to get what we want, that can also bring a certain amount of depression. Now, another feeling that comes along with depression that goes with dealing in the past, or lack of gratitude, or appreciation, and focusing on what we don't have yet instead of what we do have, is also a symptom of depression, especially in men. And that's one of the domains of anger, one of those stages of anger, and it's irritability and frustration. A lot of the time our depression, especially as men, and women have this happen too, it's just apparently more common in men because we express our feelings differently. We're taught it's not macho to, express emotions, especially an emotion of weakness like depression, weakness, where we want to come off as strong with it, so we express it in a more powerful kind of way, or so we think. But as we'll discuss, usually anger is a weakness, unless it's, once again, like all these negative emotions harnessed in the proper way. So what we can do is we can use the past, we can use the depression and the what we don't have yet feeling as a sort of fuel. Okay, you made that mistake, you made that blunder, or you don't have X, Y, and Z yet. Well, change what you've done in the past that's not working. Don't make the mistake again, and start to sit back and think, why don't I have X, Y, and Z? And how come I'm not content with what I do have? I'd recommend, of course, first focusing on contentment. However, why don't I have what I have? And then looking in the past, see the mistakes that may have kept you from it. And presently, maybe some of the mistakes you're currently making, such as procrastination, stubbornness, or a misallocation of time and resources, the 3 T's, time, treasure, and talent. The most finite and valuable of them being time. And we learn from it. We learn from this past, and then having an attitude of gratitude for, okay, I'm able to learn from the past. Okay, it didn't collapse as much as it could. I weathered the storm, and this too shall pass. And you know what? I do have A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Go through a little gratitude list. Hopefully you're writing down the things you're grateful for, or every morning you're having a little, as Tony Robbins calls it, 30 seconds of thankfulness. And just, start recalibrating your brain. They say that just 2 minutes of working on gratitude, if we can manage to do it the first thing when we wake up, just 2 minutes of focusing on gratitude each morning in our morning routine can recalibrate our brain to start spotting more opportunities that we're prepared for to further increase our gratitude and what we have. And what this will do is it will make our future brighter, and it gives us more of a broad, hopeful scope on the things that potentially are to come. And quite frankly, I feel that, if we're talking about in time here, depression, anxiety, past and future, the only way, to have a bright past is to work on making our future brighter. Because, as more and more times accumulates and we have more and more bright, good, grateful, happy memories, coupled with transmuting old negative memories into something we can be grateful for, if we can, trick our brain, trick our psychology, that bright future will eventually accumulate and lead to us having a bright past, a past we can be proud of, with less regrets, with less pain, with less suffering, and something we're happy to tell to our children, something that on our deathbed we're going to be looking back and saying, yeah, you know what, I achieved some of my dreams, I went for it, and I not only got so much of what I desired, but I got something even more valuable than that, and that's, becoming the man I know I can be, and increasing my character value, and working on that character development and self-actualization. So that's all I have to say for now. Don't fret about the past. If you're getting depressed, there's plenty of ways to get out of it, which we discuss in this series, and on the wellfredwelloff.com there's going to be more of that to come. And just talk about in the comments below how you feel. If you're having depression, by the way, if you're ever thinking about suicide, there's suicide hotlines. Reach out and get somebody. Depression is not fun. Depression is no joke. And depression can be absolutely crippling. But, especially us men who are less apt to seek them out, and for the ladies watching as well, we don't have to go it alone. And the stronger a support network you can build, even if it's through something like a suicide hotline when you're feeling completely alone, the stronger a support network you can build, the much faster you will get out of that depression. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful, productive, successful day, and I thank you so much for inviting me in once again, and I can't wait to see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.